Good morning friends, cheers! I'm currently drinking a green tea with blackberry and it is absolutely delicious. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so perfect for these early summer mornings. Anyhow, I'm so excited for today because I'm going to do a 24-hour readathon. I've never done this before and we're doing one today. And I have been kind of postponing this and I feel that while I'm on my summer break, I do have so much time. And what better way to spend that time on just reading. So that's actually what we're going to do during this video. I'm not going to be one of those people that is reading 24 hours straight because it might be my age, it might be simply because I love sleeping but I need my sleep. So I'm going to read 24 hours spread out in 2 days. We're going to read from 10 till 10 today and then probably also from 10 to 10 tomorrow on Sunday as well. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just so curious to see how much I can read and tackle in 24 hours. And I really hope to tackle everything on my TBR. But at the same time also a little bit realistic. I'm currently not in the best place I've ever been. I've recently been diagnosed with depression. And I'm kind of like on the urge of a burnout. So my concentration level is not as it used to be. So this is also my way of trying to catch up on my reading goal. And also to see if I can kind of spread out my concentration level a little bit more. Because currently I cannot read like for 30 minutes and I have to put away the book again for a couple of minutes. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm able to read everything that I'm hoping to today. But we'll see. Let me show you what I have in store. I've got this beautiful stack of books and they might look familiar because I also showed you guys these in my TBR video when I did like this whole TBR jar picks my TBR. And yeah, I have Paladin's Grace, which is a cozy fantasy about a knight who's going to knit socks. That sounds amazing. Then I have The Cat Who Saves the Library. I've never read Japanese literature and I love cats, so I definitely feel I should start trying to read more because they have a lot of books about cats. So I'm really curious for this one. Then we have a rom-com, The Ex Hex by Erwin Sterling. And I don't know, it just sounds fun. It's about a witch, there's magic involved. And more than that, I don't really know. But just, I think perfect to mix up the genres a little bit, I suppose. Then we have the very famous Powerless, and I've heard so many mixed reviews, so many mixed opinions about this one, and I'm really curious. I'm hoping it to be thrilling, a little bit action-packed. I think it kind of resembles the Hunger Games a little bit, and I love the Hunger Games, so this might be a hit. I'm predicting a 5-star or a DNF. And then simply, if I need something light and easy, I've got Au Champ de Grenoble, a perfect, amazing and beautiful graphic or comic book about animals who are wearing clothes. Like, what more do you need in your life? The drawings is the reason why I bought this one. It's just absolutely stunning. So I think I have a very nice stack of books that kind of offers a little bit of variety in genres as well. So I'm really excited for that. I'm actually planning on starting reading I think either Paladin's Grace or Powerless, but I'm going to finish my cup of tea and then make my decision and start my 24-hour readathon. So I would suggest grab yourself a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee, make yourself cozy and comfortable, and let's read for 24 hours. And if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Juliette. I upload each Friday with a new bookish lifestyle type of video. So if you want to be friends, then I would suggest hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, or leave a flower emoji. I love hearing from you guys. That's like one of the most amazing things about my YouTube channel, seeing you guys' comments. So if you do not know anything to say, then just leave a flower emoji. You can choose your own flower. I don't care. I love flowers. Leave me a flower emoji. Give this video a thumbs up. But further than that, let's start reading. So as you can see, I had a quick lunch and I finally changed in normal clothes. I got out of my PJs. Like, I don't know, the weather is really crazy. It's warm 1 minute, colder another minute, and I just didn't know what to wear. But I'm going on an errand, so I needed to put on some clothes. So I'm hoping I'm not going to be too cold or too warm in what I'm currently wearing. But anyhow, I was able to finally focus this morning. At the beginning I had a lot of complications, didn't really work, especially the first 5 chapters of the story. To be fair, the chapters are really short and I didn't feel that connected, didn't really know where the story was going after the first 5 chapters. So my mind kept wandering, kept doing a couple of chores around the house, watched a YouTube video. But after that the story took off and I'm really enjoying it. I laughed out loud a couple of times, which I do not do quite often. It is really funny, very hilarious actually at some points, very sarcastic humor. And the characters are just very sweet. The romance is super heartwarming. It is kind of quickly developing, but in a good way. Like, it's not obsessive or weird. It is just, I don't know, 2 people are kind of like awkward with each other and it's slowly developing or quickly developing, and it is just, I don't know, a lot of fun to watch this develop and see how the characters are interacting around this romance and all the other stuff that's happening. Really enjoying it so far, so I can't wait to continue reading. I'm going on my errand and I'm going to listen to the audiobook, which I am curious about because I haven't listened to it yet. And I'm very picky when it comes to audiobooks, but I just want to continue reading and I can't read when I'm going on a walk to the pharmacist and come back. I need to listen to something instead of reading. So yeah, we're going to do that. And after it I'm going to finish it and give you my final thoughts, because currently, if this is going the same way throughout the rest of the story, I might actually give this a 5-star. So that's how much I'm currently enjoying this story. So I'm hoping it will end up being a 5-star, but we'll see. So it's already a little past 7 and I took a little break for my dinner, but I did finish Paladin's Grace about an hour ago and I love this one. This is so much fun. I truly enjoyed this from the moment that well, not the moment that I started, but definitely like after chapter 5 until the end. I enjoyed this so much. Like if you're looking for a cozy romance story with a little bit of magic in here, I feel it's kind of like a little bit more medieval setting, and the magical elements are very, very minor. So they're not that heavily leaning in towards the fantasy in this story. However, it is so good. I loved especially the romance. And not only that, this is also a murder mystery. I didn't even know it was. It's kind of like towards the middle of the story, it becomes a murder mystery and someone gets wrongly accused of the murder and they have to prove their innocence. And it was so much fun. It was such a fun ride towards the end of the story, because definitely halfway of the story I wasn't entirely sure where this was going. Especially because even though I love the romance so much, the moment two main characters meet, they are very attracted to each other. They even, they're not in love instantly, but there's definitely a lot of attraction going on. However, both of them are so extremely insecure that they do not really know how to deal with it, and that's kind of like what they need to learn. They need to grow themselves as characters to become less insecure about themselves, start to accepting that people can actually like them and love them and want to be with them. And then slowly they grow towards each other. And that moment is so precious. It's so good. And I love the second part of the story as well, the murder mystery aspect. I love murder mysteries, so it was a very pleasant surprise for me. And I loved the ride it was taking me at the end of the story. I just had a lot of fun. And it mostly is because of the humor in here. Especially the side characters are very humoristic. They have so many great comments, a lot of sarcastic comments. And I kind of feel that the story takes a little, I don't know how to say this, but it doesn't really make romantasy stories ridiculous, but I kind of feel it does. Especially some of those moments you see in romantasy books or in romance stories. These moments are a little bit ridiculous in here. Something really weird happens, which is extremely funny, and it's just very light-hearted, really, really silly at times, and the humor in here is just great. I love the characters. Stephen and Grace were amazing, and I don't know, I just think that this is a perfect book and it is a 5-star read for me, and I just had so much fun. Can't wait to reread this again because I really want to. I don't know, like I loved it. The cover is amazing, as you can see, but not only the cover, the story as well. So if you are doubting about this one, pick it up, because I think you might enjoy it, especially if you love slow burn romance, but also cozy fantasy stories, or at least a cozy story with a little bit of fantasy and murder mystery towards the end. And just this fantastical world and city that just sounds really, really interesting and amazing. There's a little cliffhanger in the epilogue at the end of the story, which definitely makes me curious for the sequel. No idea when I'm going to pick it up, because I really want to. I don't own it, so it will probably take a while. But yeah, I had so much fun with this story. Really, really enjoyed it. And then we are going to continue our readathon, obviously. I am going to take a little break from reading a novel, and I'm actually going to read the comic book Au Champ des Grenoiles. I have no idea what it's about. I just bought it because of the drawings, really. I love the illustrations in this one. So I can't wait to read it and look at these amazing illustrations. I'll show you some in the b-roll after this clip. But I'm going to read this one first, and after that I want the evening to end with the Ex Hex by Erin Starling. I know this is a rom-com and there's a witch in it, obviously. You can see them sitting on a broom just before the moon on the cover, so I'm really curious. I do not know a lot about it, except that it is about a witch and there is magic and it is a rom-com, and I can't wait to read this one. No idea. I really hope to finish it tonight. I'm not entirely sure if I can, because as I said, it's already past 7 o'clock, so I have like about 3 hours left before the 12 hours are up. And not sure if I'm going to finish it today. I'm starting to doubt if I will manage to read all the books during this readathon. But at the same time, I've already read one in one day. I'm probably also going to finish the comic, so that makes it 2. If I'm able to get halfway through this one, then I'm happy. Like, I don't need to read them all. I would love to. At least if I'm able to tackle as many as I can, I'm happy. so sorry, I've not been updating you at all today, and I'm truly sorry for that. I do not have a good excuse except for the fact that I was super tired, didn't really have the energy to start up the camera and simply start talking about everything I've been reading, because I did have the energy to read actually. I've been able to focus so much today that I actually got a lot of reading done. And I'm very proud of myself of what I achieved so far in this readathon. But to be fair, it is also because of all the books that I'm reading. I'm definitely on a high with reading one 5-star after another. And I'm enjoying the book so immensely that I'm just able to continue reading a lot more easier than I have the last couple of weeks. I've definitely also been reading a lot of books that I felt a little bit meh about. So that also might have been one of the reasons why my concentration for reading hasn't been up there what normally is. However, let me get into all the books I've been reading so far, because yesterday afternoon I finished Au Chant des Grenouilles, and it actually means the Song of the Frogs, and I think I forgot to mention it yesterday. And I love this. It is stunning. The drawings, the illustrations are stunning, absolutely beautiful. Love looking at them. It was very easy to read. even though it is French, like it is in different language, but was very easy to read, and I just really enjoyed to get to know all these characters. The only downside I have for this comic is that it's kind of like it. We only get to know the world and the characters, and there's not a lot of story to this comic, to be quite fair. Towards the end of the book, around the last 5 pages, the story kind of picks up and they start looking for certain ingredients that they need for a game, but then it stops. Like you get a little bit of an explanation of how the game is going, but it just simply stops. Nothing else happens and you need to pick up the sequel. So I do find it a little bit difficult to rate this book because I kind of feel I need the sequel to really get like a little bit more of a complete feeling of the story really. However, I still immensely enjoyed this for what it is, and I think about 4 or 5 stars, somewhere in between. Really recommend this if you're able to read it, especially for the illustrations, and I'm definitely going to pick up the sequel because I really enjoyed it and I want to know what's going to happen when they start playing the game. After that one, I also picked up the Ex Hex, and I love this one as well. It is so good. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. It is exactly what my expectations were thinking it was going to be. I just had so much fun reading this story. It is about a man and a girl, Vivian and Rice, and they both were in a relationship together. They meet again 9 years later, and Vivian accidentally put a curse on Rice. She thought it was like a joke, but it is actually a real curse, and they have to find a way to stop this curse because a lot of things are happening to Rice, a lot of things are happening to the town as well, and they kind of need to save Rice and the town, so they need to work together, and old love blossoms again. It is super funny. The humor was just on point and the story was on point. It has exactly the right feeling for autumn and Halloween. If you're looking for a rom-com with that theme, like autumn, Halloween, witches, pick this one up. Do not look any further. This is amazing. Can't wait to read the sequel. I'm definitely going to, because the sequel is about 2 side characters that we got to meet in this story, and I really enjoyed both of them, so I'm really looking forward to continue reading the series. I kind of feel I'm starting a lot of series in this reading vlog, which was definitely not my point for this readathon, because I don't know, I suppose unknowingly it was kind of like the point, because the books I chose were all first books in the series. However, I'm just enjoying a lot of them, and probably should have done it because I'm already reading a lot of series, but this one is so good. I really need to pick up the sequel as soon as possible. 5 stars. Another 5 star is actually a book I literally finished just before filming this clip, and that is The Cat Who Saved the Library. Like, oh my gosh. This book, you guys, it is so perfect. It is definitely not something that I normally read. It is so fantastical. I didn't expect it. It definitely feels a lot more like a children's book, but in a good way. Like, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy it so much. It was very easy to read. I kind of feel it is like an ode to everyone who loves reading, who loves books, and there's so much wisdom. I really love the main character, Nanami. Like, she was amazing, such a courageous little girl going on this adventure with this tabby cat tiger, and I love the talking cat aspect as well. You also have like a talking cat in the Ex Hex. I forgot to mention that. Like, give me a talking cat and I'm done. Like, that's exactly what I need in a cozy story, and this book is just everything. Like, I loved it so much. It screams love for reading, and I also feel at the same time it's also a little bit putting like up a mirror for our own society and how we treat people who read, how we treat people who are a little bit different than we are. I don't want to say normal people, because is anyone actually normal? But if you get what I mean, like if someone has a disability or is someone a little bit different or likes something else, you quite often treat them differently, and that's kind of like reflecting in here as well. And this book actually made me cry. I loved it so much. I recommend this highly. Like, if you want to read something very cozy, something about books, a little girl who's going to save the books, go to try to get them, go into this fantastical world, putting her life on the edge, trying also to save this cat. Perfect. Absolutely amazing. So as I said, I've been reading some amazing books, and now I'm going to start my last and final one on my TBR. This is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I am really unsure about this because I read something about it yesterday evening, and now I'm not entirely sure if I even should start reading this story, but I am going to because it's on my TBR. I want to at least give it a go. I'm definitely not going to finish it in 4 hours because it is 600 pages or something. No, it's 500 pages, but I don't really see myself finishing this in 4 hours. I am, however, going to give it a try because I definitely have like some doubts about what I read yesterday evening, especially if it is like something for me. It is also a series, so that's kind of like in the back of my mind as well. Like the other ones, The Cat Who Saved the Library, I actually didn't know I was reading the sequel, and I have never read the first one at all, so I probably have to pick that one up. Didn't really feel that I should have read the first one first. Like, I kind of feel there might be some hints to the first one, but they completely went over my head and I enjoyed it immensely. But I know a couple of those, or all the books I've been reading so far, are first one in the series. And however, those are also books that I can read as a standalone. This one, however, I know has like 4 books, I think 3 or 4 books in the series, and they are all quite chunky. So that's also something that is in my mind. I just read something about the story that I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like that. But anyhow, we're gonna try, we are going to give it an honest try, and we'll be trying to read at least 100, 150 pages. And then I'll make a decision if I'm going to continue the story or not. But yeah, I'm also a little bit curious because I did also think that it could be a favorite. But we'll see. I'm going to give it a go, I'm going to read it, and I'll get back to you after this readathon is done. So it's 8:30 right now, and that means my readathon is officially done. I've been reading 24 hours for the last 2 days, and to be fair, I'm exhausted. Like, you might not say after reading for 2 days, but I really am. Like, mentally, I'm done. Like, I'm not sure if I'll pick up a book tomorrow. I'll probably will, but not for as long as I've been reading for this day and yesterday. Like, I have not read this much in at least a couple of months now. And I loved it, to be fair. Like, I used to do this a lot. Like, not per se a readathon, but reading for a full day, especially during my summer breaks as a student and now even as a teacher. I used to kind of have a couple of days during the summer break where I just lay in the garden or now on my balcony and just simply enjoy the weather, the sun, and read a good book. And I've done that the last couple of years, and even in my weekends in the winter as well. I quite often pick up a book and read it in one day, and I have always loved it so much. But lately, as I said before, I've had a very hard time focusing, and I've just not been able to do that. And I feel good. I feel really good for simply having been able to achieve that today. And I am actually proud of myself for reading as much as I did, because these are all the books I read in my readathon. And no, I have not finished 2. The top one is a poem for every summer day, and I obviously haven't finished it yet because it goes until the last day of August. And I finished the readathon reading this. I read the 2 poems from today and yesterday, and I also catched up on a couple of poems from the month of July because I'm still behind. I haven't read in the full month of July actually, so I'm still reading the days of July as well. So I've been catching up in this one. I actually read quite a few poems this evening, and I really enjoyed it. I really recommend this as well. Like, Ellie Esseri, she's the one who kind of like collected all these poems from different authors, and their poems that are about everything that happened in the past, and I really enjoy them. Quite often the poems have something to do with something that happened years ago on this day, and that just makes it really interesting actually. And I don't know, I really enjoy reading a poem every day, and even though I'm behind, I really like catching up here as well. So I ended my readathon reading this one, and I know most of you are probably very curious. I also started reading Powerless, and no, I haven't finished it. To be fair, I stopped after chapter 14, and that is on page 129 to be precise. Like, I stopped reading after 129 pages, and for now it is in DNF, and it is simply in DNF because it is as I feared it would be. Like, I knew it was going to be in DNF or it was going to be a new favorite, and I'm not entirely sure if this one or Fourth Wing was published first. I have no idea. I feel there are quite a lot of similarities, but especially similarities with Hunger Games, like, and Divergent as well. There are so many similarities with Divergent, but I feel I am reading the Hunger Games, but like a fanfiction of the Hunger Games. I'm not the biggest fan of the writing style. I know it's a debut novel, but I feel the writing style is slightly lacking and might, for me at least, need a little bit more editing here and there. I'm not really a fan of how certain sentences are very long. There are a couple of things that are being said. For example, you have a lot of sentences that are like where people say plagues and then they start to talk like, plagues, why is it happening? Plagues this, plagues that. And I'm not entirely sure why and what's happening when it comes to that, but I'm not a fan. I really am not. I don't like the characters either. I feel not really a connection. I feel that both the characters, Kai and Paladin, are kind of a rip-off of characters I know. And I know quite often you have characters that are similar to you because of other books. And I know every author probably has some inspirational source where they get inspiration from and they twist and they make it different. But I feel that originality in this book is very lacking, and it is just not my cup of tea. So I'm really sorry if I offend any of you guys in saying this. Oh, and also I start to notice that the lighting on the camera is actually becoming a lot more red. I'm sorry for that. I've got red curtains But if I open the curtains, the sun is shining right on my face and you won't be able to see me. And it's the same for my bedroom. And I'm not going to sit in the study because it's a mess. So I'm really sorry if the lighting is a little bit weird here. I'll try to fix as much as I can with color correction. But yeah, the sun is going down, so it's getting red outside as well. I don't know, I should have probably filmed this another time. It might also have to be the fact that I am on a high because I have been reading 5-star books. It might definitely be the case that that's the reason why this one is not doing it for me. But also simply I kind of feel it's a knockoff from the Hunger Games. I can't help myself, I really do. I read The Serpent of Wings at Night, and that is like a Hunger Games but then for vampires, and that definitely has so much originality to it. And it definitely doesn't feel like the Hunger Games at all. It kind of has like the same theme when it comes to the games, but that's it. Like everything else is completely different. And I kind of feel that even the build up towards the games is quite what's similar to the Hunger Games and Divergent as well. And I don't know, I'm not a fan. So I'm not going to continue this one. And I'm actually quite sad because I am feeling that I'm ending the readathon on a low. Although, still loved reading this at the end. But if we look back at these amazing 4 books that I read, I loved every one of them. And they might have put me on a high. And to be quite frank, I would have preferred to either read the sequel of the Ex Hex, Paladin's Grace, and even the first book in this series. Like, I still don't understand why I actually started reading the second book, but anyhow, this is the one that I bought. But I would have preferred reading any of these, the sequels, simply because I enjoyed them so much and I was yearning for that while reading Powerless, so that wasn't really helping either. Yeah, I'm really happy with what I read. I'm very proud of myself how much I was able to read in so many hours, and I will definitely do something like this again. I'm not entirely sure if I will do it again spread out in like 2 days, because I kind of feel when I start working again it might be a little bit more difficult, because then I have like kind of obligations in the weekend as well, so I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to get out of everything. Like simply cleaning I might be able to get out of, but some other things might be a little bit more difficult. But anyhow, yeah, I really like doing a readathon. And if you are thinking of doing a readathon, like even if you do not have like social media to share it on, simply do it. Like, I really enjoyed it and it definitely helped me, I think, getting out of a reading slump. At least I hope. I will keep you guys updated about that. I really hope that this will help me pick up my reading again, because I've missed this. I've missed simply laying on the ground or the couch and read a book for hours straight after each other. Really enjoyed myself. Happy that I did it, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, then leave me a flower emoji. Don't care. You can choose whatever flower. Surprise me. I love getting comments from you guys. I actually got one today on a video I posted yesterday, and I was so happy. Like, I know I don't get a lot of comments, but I love it. Like, when you guys leave a comment, you actually make my day. So yeah, thank you so much if you have ever left a comment, and thank you so much if you will leave a comment and even still being here. Like, I really appreciate the fact that people are watching my videos. So thank you so much for hanging around with me, and I hope to see you guys next weekend with another video. So see you then. Thank you so much. Bye bye.